Hey guys, Happy New Year, first video of 2019, and I hope you had a great Christmas with your family and friends. Today we're going to talk about 2019, and we're going to talk about January and what you possibly might be able to do over the next few weeks. I suppose now is the time of the year where a lot of people just set New Year goals, resolutions and targets in place for the year ahead. And sometimes we tend to see these goals maybe not implemented the right way, or maybe it wasn't realistic enough to set them goals in place. And generally speaking, end of January, mid-February, then people drift away a little bit and they're sort of back to their old self, what they generally seen at the end of the year of last year. What I would try and encourage is these different tips here today, and try and implement them as best you can. And these are different tips that I always try and do every single year, and they always generally set me up well for the year ahead. Tip number one is, I would say, sit down and set some goals. Sounds very simple, but what I would try and encourage you to do is actually sit down with a pen and paper and set goals from short, medium to long term, and that's going to maybe break your year down in a realistic approach, and make it a goal that's something that's going to be enjoyable, making it a goal that's maybe something that's going to make you better, making it a goal that's something that you always wanted to achieve. So it could be something maybe to do a 5k, it could be to do a 20k, it could be to do a marathon. Start small and build up. So very just simple what I just said there. Don't dive straight into the deep end. A lot of the time we tend to see people going from A to Z straight away, where I would try and encourage you to take one step forward at a time. Because as I said at the start of the video, a lot of people will dive straight into the deep end, and 4 weeks later, the way they've gone about it isn't sustainable enough, and they've fallen off the wagon a little bit. Choose the right path, so important. If you're someone that wants to get healthier and fitter, for instance, and you absolutely hate the gym, there's no point in you in actually joining the gym, because it's just not for you. Choose something that you actually might enjoy. So when you do sit down and think of what you actually enjoy, try and go about the right way. So you could be something that might enjoy the outdoors. So maybe try and implement a plan in place for doing some hiking at the weekend, going for a jog once or twice a week, and then maybe getting out with one or two friends and playing some sports during the week as well. Because that way it's going to make it a little more enjoyable, of course. And of course it's going to make it sustainable and realistic in the long-term approach. We have here tip number 4, get the basics right first. So I suppose over the last 4 weeks, the basics possibly were thrown out the window. We maybe didn't drink enough water, we got a little less sleep. And with the food, maybe over the Christmas, we were probably on a 60-40 or even a 70-30 approach with the nutrition end of things. So try and get back at the basics again and try and nail them basics back in place before you get going and looking at something more specific. And the last one here is visualize, write down and assess your goals as the time goes on. So I'm a big believer of visualization. So actually having your goals out in front of you, and that's something that you're going to keep focusing your head. It's going to keep you on track. And write them down every so often, just remind you I'm on target and I'm going to keep going on that target till I achieve my goal. And then assess your goals as well as you're going. Maybe every 6 to 8 weeks, assess and see how you're going. If it's going well, super. If it's not going as well, sit down again and maybe reapproach it and how you can go about it best. So yeah guys, hope them video and over the last few years helped you, and I hope the first video of 2019 is even better for you, and these tips here have helped you, and have a great year, and I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers.